Hello guys and welcome back to episode 38 of What If Civilization Started Over. In the last episode we saw the collapse of the Moroccan team, and so we had the formation of two new major kind of powers, the blue team, who is friends with Russia, and the gold team in the north, who is friends with the Cross Alliance and the red team. And just before we start the video, I want to show you guys a brand new layer that I've been working on, which is the ideology layer. Now, as you can see, most countries are, well, so in Africa, the northern areas kind of here are quite fascist. Most of Europe is actually democracy or a flawed democracy, apart from a couple fascist countries spotted here and there. And so, yeah, as you can see, this is how the world looks. But in this episode, we're not going to actually be focusing on some major countries. We're going to actually be taking a look at like how these ideologies affect different things. So over here in North America, we can see that Alaska is actually fascist. And one thing with fascism is that, well, this fascist country wants to unite all the people from the brown religion. And to do that, they have to invade into the Canadian country. And so, what do you think they do? They invade into the Canadian country. Now up here, there's not a lot of people, and so they are able to push in very quickly. But Canada manages to quickly reorganize their troops and have kind of a push back against the red team. And they even eventually start their own offensive into the country, taking out these islands and then a bit of their mainland, especially in the south where the major populations are. And very quickly they manage to cut the country into two, as even though the country is fascist, it is very weak. And so eventually the capital is captured and the country surrenders over to the Canadians. So let's have a look at the peace treaty. So the Canadians won't actually take too much land. It will just be a little bit of southern land down here. But the main thing is the country will be changed into a democracy, but it's actually going to be a flawed democracy. And this is because there's still quite a bit of people that want to be fascist, but obviously they can't because of, yeah. Anyways, we're now going to head over into this area right here. And so, as you can see here, we do actually have another fascist country, which is the green team. And we're going to actually see them expand as well. As you can see, the fascist country is very expansionist. And so, that's... okay, they're going to invade very quickly into this country, and so it is, the main areas are quickly taken, and then they kind of just come out and take the capital, forcing these guys to surrender very quickly. Once again, a lot of these countries are just weak. It's not that the other countries are so strong, it's that the other countries are just that weak. And this island is also going to the green team. Now, as we can see, this country is, they have less coast, and you know what's going to happen? Well, their ideology is going to change from a flawed democracy to fascism, as it is rigged by its surrounding neighbours, or which are fascist, the Americans, as well as these guys. However, as we know, the fascism inside of, well, I'm just going to say fascism inside of America, not really popular, especially up here in the north. These areas just kind of want to break away. They don't want to be part of America. They think that America is kind of stupid. And so America is going to go up here and do some not so good stuff, which causes a couple areas of the country to decide to break away into this kind of brown country like this. Now America is well, they're annoyed, and so they are going to send some troops up over here. They do pretty well until the brown team just kicks them out very, very easily. And America's like, what? How did that happen? And then over here, they notice supply chains going back and forth between Texas and this country. And they're like, Texas, why? And they're like, and Texas replies by saying, you can't attack us, because if you do, World War. And so the red team sees that the Americans are struggling, and so they're like, yeah, we can maybe help you. And so they start sending some ships over. Then as they're about halfway, America is like, okay, we're annoyed at the Texans, we're going to declare war on them. So yeah. But so this is when the boats immediately turn back, and the red team tells the Americans, we're not going to back you, get out of the cross alliance, no, we don't want that. And so the Americans are like, wait, what? But they're like, you know what, I don't care, as they have this alpha male mentality. As they start invading into Texas, it goes well at first, but obviously they're still fighting these guys. This is a stalemated front, and so eventually they're like, you know what, I can't be bothered, just, you can have independence, as they think invading into Texas is more important. But as this is going on, obviously Russia, the whole Diamond Alliance, is notified, and they start sending a lot of troops over into Texas. And so, but obviously before they arrive, the Americans, they are quite a strong country, and so they can very easily kind of just mess up the Texans. But eventually an encirclement is threatened over here, but luckily this is when the troops from Russia arrive, and a massive pushback is actually organized, allowing for the encirclement to not happen. And so Texas is very quickly now kicking out the Americans from their country. And then if we look at the religion map, I'm not sure if it's, as you can see, there's still some areas over here that aren't part of the green team religion. And after seeing what bad stuff they did, some of these areas are going to start breaking away. So we see a purple area breaking away over here. As well as, if you guys remember, there was the area over here, which was its own religion as well, but they were kicked out. And so now it doesn't matter, as these areas are also going to start revolting away. Now these guys they are a united front, they're not actually, this isn't going to be one country, they're just kind of like this. And so eventually America realizes that they're going to be losing this war, and so they decide to surrender over to these guys as well as Texas. Now Texas doesn't take any land, which is good for America. This was quite valuable land that was next to Texas. But what's not so good for them is these areas up here in the north are going to break away. So of course, first of all, we have a purple country being formed over here. Then we have a kind of this darkish blue country being formed up in this area. They're not going to have this, and get rid of that. And so that is going to be another new country. Then we're going to have, this is where the proper new countries start to build. We have Michigan being formed right over here, which looks something like this. Then we have obviously the brown team being released, and then this area is going to be formed into two bits, being the orange Wisconsin country, I think it is, Wisconsin, which is going to be like this, and then the rest of this area will become its own country, which will look something like this. And so also with the kind of not collapse but the rebellions of America, the new strongest country on this continent is going to go to Texas, especially with all the aid, but close behind is Mexico and then the Californian country. But anyways, for the capital cities of these guys, this one will have it over here, this one there, there, there. These guys don't have a major city, so it's just going to be down here. And then this one will have it down there. So all of these guys are pretty friendly with the rest of North America, apart from obviously the normal America, as well as actually no, that's basically it. But anyways, we're now going to head over to Mexico, who is just going to say, you know what, join us or you're going to be sorry. And these guys are like, okay, fine. And so they have to kind of join up with Mexico. So now we have a long Mexico. Like, yeah. Anyways, that's going to be it for the North American area. And so let's head over to South America. And so, as we know, the Trapezium Alliance is kind of against the Parallelogram Alliance. And so we actually have a country who doesn't like the Parallelogram Alliance joining in with the Trapezium Alliance. And what possible country doesn't like these guys? Oh, right. It's Argentina. Argentina joins in with the Parallelogram Alliance. And so now South America is divided and yeah. But as you can see on the ideology there, where is it? These two are dictatorships, while this one is communist. And so they don't have the best of relations, but they both kind of don't like these guys. So they're like, you know what, we should team up. Speaking of communism, let's find these guys. Their people not very happy with how it's going in their country, and so a couple of rebellions start to take place. One on these islands right here, then one in this island, and probably the biggest one is a kind of brownish one happening on this island. Now, obviously these guys are part of the Circle Alliance, so they should be getting help, right? No, they're for some reason, there's no help coming towards them, and so they're like, wait, what? And so they just decide to leave the Circle Alliance. They realize the Circle Alliance isn't actually helping them, so what's the point in staying? So they do try and fight off these guys. It goes well for a bit, but then eventually that's taken, and then another area north of this island is going to be, or this island is going to break away apart from the capital city, and finally a extremely dark colored country is going to be forming right here. And so that is just the rebellion. We're going to have our first kind of country that is completely surrounded by another country, which is going to be right here. And these guys are so confused. They're wondering why on earth did the Circle team not help. And well, there's no the main reason is well, you're gonna see when you look at what when I tell you guys which ideology each of these countries is. So this one is fascist, I wonder, maybe they got paid. This one is very democratic. I wonder if they got paid. And this one's communist. Probably paid by these guys. Maybe Argentina as well. And then this one, well, they noted this was after they left, so this is basically just a country after the collapse of the other ones. And so, yeah, Indonesia is now divided. And, yeah. Now for probably one of the final things of this episode, we're going to head over to England, where we have, well, Scotland is invading down. I'm actually forgot, no, they don't have interesting ideologies. Well, they're going to go like this, and so this is now theirs. But then the red team invades into the lime team, sending them back to Cornwall. And so this is just how it's going to be, kind of like a trade of land. And the worst one off, obviously, they got screwed over. They're just tiny now. And this is all going to Scotland. And now Scotland is very big. Anyways, for probably one of the last things of the episode, we're going to have this country is going to collapse. Its economy just kind of died. And so it's going to be split up by some of these people. So one person that's going to split it up is going to be the Russians, who will say our puppet state should get all of this. And so that is what the puppet state gets. The rest of this is going to go over to their ally, the green team. And then the rest of this, Norway's like, please, can we have it? And Russia's like, yeah, no. Oh. As they just create their own country over here, who is aligned with them, unlike the Norwegians. They're kind of friends with the Russians, but not much. Anyways, that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.